happened on camera. The feature was picked up all over the nation, and she and my dad have received job offers from clear across the country. The latest was from San Antonio, I think. She's not saying yes to any of them, though. At least, not until I agreed to move with them, too. But I would never leave Nan, and Nan would never leave Blueberry Bay. So we're all staying put exactly where we are. Sure, if enough people learn my secret, I probably will have to leave eventually. Right now, a total of 5 people know. Nan and my parents, who I told on purpose, along with Charles Longfellow III, and a college student named Mitch, who both figured it out by accident. Hopefully I can keep that number from growing any larger, but it seems like several people are on the verge of figuring things out already, and that definitely worries me, especially since my mom just invited me to help her with her newest investigative journalism assignment. I'd finally switched to a part-time schedule at the firm, and today was one of my days off, and by off I meant I got to stay home and pack up my tiny rental house under the supervision of one very demanding tabby. Not only did I have to discard a number of my belongings that he found to be inadequate, but he was also the reason I had to move in the first place. Granted, I'm the one who said I'd owe him a big favor if he allowed me to put him in a harness to take him outside. I hadn't counted on that favor amounting to more than 6,000 square feet, though. As it turned out, the favor he wanted was for me to purchase the old manor house he had lived in with Ethel Fulton before she was murdered, and through a truly unbelievable series of events, he came to live with me. Now, a $12 harness was costing me the better part of my $5,000 monthly stipend, and I'd learned to be more careful about promising my kitty companion open-ended favors. Yes, my former boss, Richard Fulton, did offer me a generous break on the price. Also, there were fewer interested parties once the greater populace found that the former homeowner had been murdered. But still, owning Fulton Manor would require a pretty penny from me, not just to keep up with the mortgage, but also to carry out the many repairs that seem to be more or less essential for safety purposes. At least, that's what the home inspector said. Hardly any time has passed at all, and yet somehow the sale is final, and the house is ready for me and Octo-Cat to move in. It's funny how bureaucracy can either slow things way down or speed them way up, depending what side you approach the red tape from. Around Blueberry Bay, the Fultons owned the spool from which the red tape was unraveled, which meant I bought myself a manor house with very little effort on my part. Nan, who adores both me and my cat in equal measure, decided to help out too. Even though she'd owned her little Cape Cod-style home for more than 35 years, she decided it was time to sell and move in with me at my new Eastern Seaboard mansion. "The difference is," she explained, "this time I'll be living with you and not the other way around." That was how she justified kicking me out of her house less than a year ago, only to move in with me now. Honestly, I'm more than a little thrilled to have an added buffer when it comes to Octo-Cat. I love him more than anything, but he also infuriates me on a regular basis, constantly finding new and exciting ways to push the poorly constructed boundaries I've tried to erect. And so, all of us are moving in this weekend, even though Nan hasn't even had an offer on her house yet. Brienne says it will be easier to sell without a current resident. Yes, I couldn't believe Nan hired Calhoun Realty to list her house either. She and I needed to have a serious talk about family loyalty. But first, we had to survive the big move. "Someone just pulled up outside," Octo-Cat informed me, hopping onto the end of the bed where the better part of my wardrobe was laid out for evaluation. I took packing as a good opportunity to downsize, even though my living space would increase nearly 10 times. A moment later, an urgent knock sounded on the front door, and my mom's voice called out, "Angie!"